Zionic morning, my bro. How you doing? How you doing on this fine morning? I didn't see it. No, I was running around yesterday. I'm actually, when I get off here today, I'm going to run around a little bit on social media before I head to the dentist. What did I miss? Anything good? Good to see you on here again. Oh, the other brand's Euphoria. Okay. Thank you. So I contacted a buddy that said that I believe those guys are getting sued over that. Now, if I was in charge of that shit, you wouldn't see that. But I ain't allowed to be. Those guys are doing everything that they can over there. Just a little TRT. Good name. Good morning, brother. Velez. Good morning. Was this the first time you got a notification? I don't understand. Nathan, my bro, what's going on? Zionic, did you get a chance to compare it to the BSL one? And see what, if it's just a straight ripoff or if it's something else. Nathan High said yesterday I pre-exhausted chest on the pec deck. Then did 5 supersets of Smith machine incline, and boys, I cooked by the end of it. Nice. Very good, very good. I did, what did I do yesterday? So, damn, I forgot what I did. Oh, so normally I do pec deck first, as you guys saw in the video with Chris Luke. I love pre-exhausting with pec deck. So what I did yesterday was a little bit different because I wanted to get back into doing some incline dumbbell presses, which I've kind of stayed away from for a little while. But I wanted to get my elbow going because this elbow's been annoying me. I've got these elbow wraps. I should post them in my story. My buddy let me borrow them. They're Mark Bell's elbow wraps. They're actually really good. They definitely help me a little bit at least because I haven't been able to really press heavy, you know, for me. Nothing like what I used to do. Oh, thank you, Zion. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Mark, good morning. So what I did, just because I wanted to see how my elbow was doing, was I just did 20-pound dumbbells, 30-pound dumbbells, 40-pound dumbbells, and then I was like, all right, it's not going to bother me this light. So I did 60-pound dumbbells, then I did 70-pound dumbbells, and I was like, you know what? Let me just shoot up to 90s. I haven't touched the 90s since I've been out of prison. Grabbed the 90s, and I did them like 3/4 reps, so I was kind of just resting on my chest, coming up, try to keep the tricep out of it. The interesting thing about what's going on with this elbow is if I press here, which is essentially more tricep involvement, really, it's actually fine, but it's if I go like this with my hand, that's where the pain kicks in right away. So once I figured that out, I backed back down to the 70s and just did them really slow and strict with some static holes at the top. So after that, then I did a little superset action. No, then I did 4 sets of incline dumbbell flies. Then I did my superset action. We supersetted pec deck with the hammer strength press. And then just did a shitload of cable crossovers at the end. So this elbow thing's really annoying. But hopefully, hey, listen, if there's anybody that's in need of the benefits of the BPC 157, like they say, it's me. So I'm going straight elbow with it now. I got enough to last me a while. We're gonna go with it. Oh, the Muscle Mogul videos. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Did you have the Cupid doll hairstyle? Were you in the slammer? So what I did when I was in prison was I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna not cut my hair because I was like, who cares? You know, just a bunch of dudes in here. So I didn't cut my hair for like 9 months, which is crazy for me because I fade my sides literally every week and I cut the top every few weeks, you know. So my hair was so long that I started to wear a man bun because it wasn't really long enough for like a quality ponytail, but I couldn't just leave it. It was crazy. It was like all over the place. And it started to do this weird like wave, like not an actual curl, not a broccoli head curl, just like a little wave. So it was all like crazy. Like, ugh, don't let that guy around your family crazy. So I started doing the man bun, and then the guards started making fun of me, saying, Braun, what are you doing with the man bun and this and that? And then finally, I decided, I went to the barber shop, right? They got a little barber shop in there. And I was like, man, I just want you to shave my head. And the barber was like, Manpower, shout out to Manpower from Mississippi. MP was like, sure about that? I said, yeah, shave it. He was like, how low? I was like, I don't know, like a 2. Do a 2 on the sides. Do a 2 on the top and a 0 on the side. So he takes the clippers and he goes through. And I'm like, holy crap. He goes, that's a 4. I was like, all right, don't go any shorter than that. I realized it's been a long time since I had my hair like that. So did a 4 on the top, you know, with a 0 or 1 fade on the side. And let me tell you what, guys, I literally got in the most trouble that I had been in right after that. It was like everyone treated me completely different. I turned into an Aryan white boy. Aggressive, everything was bronze aggressive. And it's crazy because my mom and Marissa came to see me and they were like, oh my God, you look mean with your hair like that. I'm like, are you kidding me? So I went from looking gay to looking mean. Terrible. Zyonics, I took some Matamax last night, second night. Took Betaine for digestion, went hypo for a while, sweating and sick. But both mornings after, I feel amazing, in a good mood. Okay, there you go. Somatomax is, that's the OG stuff right there. I used to use Somatomax back when I was competing. That's a product that's been around for a long time. It's actually one of the high-tech's like most consistently good products. I've actually talked to Jared about it a lot. He said all the flavors sell consistently well. I believe the fruit punch is the most popular one because it's been around the longest. So, you know, anesthetized is our version of that, which if you like some Itamax, you'll love anesthetized. It's a little bit souped up version. And that's it, man. If I want to knock myself out, I go with half of a scoop of anesthetized. When I do a whole scoop of anesthetized, man, I need extra time when I do that. But anyway, Red Devil, hiya. Cuddy Black, good morning. Did you inject anything today? I injected 200 milligrams of Balkan Pharma test sip and 100 milligrams of Dragon Pharma test suspension. Woo! That's what I'm talking about with that test suspension. Actually, so my injections this morning were BPC 157 in the elbow, 5-amino-1-MQ in the belly, and 500 megs of L-carnitine into the quad. That's the little morning recipe right there. So I've been Red Devil. I've been doing the BPC 157 in the elbow for a couple weeks now. Now, listen, when I first hurt my back, I will say, guys, My back was bad. I've done this numerous times over the years. I've got major issues going on, SI joint, L4, L5. It's arthritic. I got degenerative disc in there. It's a mess, but I know how to take care of it. But you know, every few years I jack it up, and I actually came back pretty damn fast. Now I can't say it's because I was going 2 milligrams of TB500, you know, also with the BPC 157, but I did it for 15 days at that 2 milligram dose like that. And, you know, I got massages, 10's unit, the works. I came back pretty fast, so, you know, we'll see. Melanie, good morning. Melanie, the runner, the distance runner. Mickey, shout out to Ireland. Oh, man, I wish I could provide it still, Mickey. We had all those good years. That was a good time on social media, but I've been shot out. They won't let me do anything with Genova anymore. I don't love DECA. I've never gotten the joint and recovery benefit that certain people speak of from DECA, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I've gotten more of the bad side effects from DECA. Luke, good morning. Good to see you, sir. Justin, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Bolshoi is here. Is it a plane? No, it's a bird. No, it's Rabbi Braun. Good old Rabbi Braun in the house. What would you recommend supplements-wise for my daughter trying to lose weight? She can't handle any stimulants. She's 25. Does she exercise? What's her fitness level? Give me a little bit more information about her, and I'll start talking about what she should do. Brandon Haybert, thanks for all the Men's Brother pajamas. Thank you. I appreciate that. What else have you been seeing studies on SLP being good at? Let me talk to my buddy that works at the clinic, and I will get back to you. Well, if we're back again tomorrow, we'll talk about that one tomorrow. So, we didn't talk about dosing on that one. I talked about the dosing of the 5-amino 1MQ. I couldn't tell you. I like to see what the average people are doing. For instance, this said clinic has primobolan, methanolone capsules, which is interesting because a lot of clinics aren't going to do that. Some clinics will do oxandrolone. Now, primobolan is far superior in injectable form because of the bioavailability. However, I'd still be very interested in that. I haven't used an oral primobolan since, you know, my competing days, which back then I would typically, if I was doing it oral, I would do 100 milligrams a day. So I was curious of the guys from the clinic that are doing it. He said majority of them are doing 100 milligrams a day, but he has some people doing 50 that are really enjoying the benefits of it. So listen, real primobolan is the GOAT. Real primobolan depot is the GOAT. I don't think that most of these bodybuilders these days really have access to real primobolan depot. Real primobolan depot is the GOAT. Going from looking gay to me and in a bad transformation, yeah, except it got me in trouble. And then I ended up having to do loads more work in the program that I was in. So listen, the first manufacturer that we were working out with, he had all sorts of stuff when it comes to nootropics and let's just say things that are pushing the envelope and beyond the envelope being pushed off the table, right? We don't manufacture with him anymore. We manufacture all with Jared. So the very first original formula with the BPA in it, and there was one other ingredient in the original formula that's not in it anymore. Short-lived. But anyway, he brought them all down here for us to test them, and everybody was like, yo, these are crazy. It was just literally like, getting you high. And, different people took different doses, and we figured it all out. So Aaron and I were like, this is definitely be a cool product to put out. So, if you go on YouTube, that video, the original video is actually removed from YouTube. That video actually showed up in court. They showed it up in court trying to damage our character, because in the video I humped a blow-up doll. I mean, it was just funny. We were being silly. So with the Euphoria, I've found that there is really no way of figuring out. This is the interesting thing about that product. There's no way of figuring out the right dosage for it, because it works with your neurotransmitters, and it also, I don't think metabolism really comes into play with this product either. It's a very, very strange thing. So it doesn't matter if you're somebody that's taken a lot of drugs or this or that. It doesn't matter if you're, a 200-pound bodybuilder or a 100-pound girl. The effects are dramatically different, so you really have to figure it out. Now, I will say, I talk to people that really like to party, like in the ecstasy scene and, the electric dance music scene. And they've told me, like the small bottles that Blackstone sells, which I believe are 16 caps, they're like, yo, you just take the whole bottle and you literally roll your face off. So first of all, I don't want to do that. I don't want to mess with it like that. I'm scared actually to do that. So other people that I've talked to about it say they literally just take 2 capsules and it calms them. So we talked to guys that have PTSD actually, and have issues with relaxing and anxiety, that love that product. They say they just pop 2, wait an hour, maybe they pop another 2, but it helps them chill out. So I've seen people take way too much of it and throw up, which happened to me one time. I found out for me, 6 is my throw up number. 4 or 5, I'm good. 5 is like my sweet spot. But I was with a girl, skinny girl. She was like, 9 is the sweet number. 9 is the sweet number. Now, I've always been a little bit more sensitive to supplements anyway. But 9, I wouldn't dare taking 9. So, like I said, it's really, really tricky to figure out the dosing on it. There's other people in here that maybe could share their experiences with it. To be honest with you, I don't really like that product, because I've missed the dosing on it enough times where I felt like I was literally melting in my chair and was worthless after that. And I know people like that, but I don't really like those downer type of feelings. I've talked to people that love that melting feeling. So I don't know. It's interesting. Part of the reason why Harmonize is so popular with the women is that there's a small amount of euphoria in it. So not only does it balance their hormones, but it has that mood enhancement aspect of it. Also, guys, as you know, I'm not a part of Blackstone Labs. I'm not allowed to be a part of Blackstone Labs. I'm speaking on past experiences with Blackstone Labs products. You will not see me working with Blackstone Labs until I'm done with probation. I'm just speaking on personal experience. The sickest thing you witnessed bodybuilder did to win a show. Probably one of the sickest things I've seen was Juan Morel one year, and he actually got second, but he won the next show. So Juan Morel one year, we were working with Dave, and we were rooming together, and we were both 235 the day before weigh-ins, right, for nationals. Really, we were both closer to 240. So we started taking diazides early. By the way, I would not advise anybody to ever do something like this, because we both wanted to get down to 225, right? So I wanted to weigh in early. So I cut my water the night before the weigh-ins, and I went no water all day with the diazides, and I managed to weigh in at 225 and a quarter. I made it. He was still like 6 pounds over. So he continued to take the diazides and then sit in the sauna and exercise in the sauna. And I was like, bro, why don't you just go super heavyweight, man? You know, like, how are you gonna come back after all this? And he was like, no, I can make it, I make it. So he was wearing a sweatsuit, you know, one of those like rubber sweatsuits in the sauna, doing push-ups and shit. And he kept taking breaks and going back in the sauna. No water. Weighed in first thing the next morning, made 225. I couldn't believe it. Crazy. So no water for over 24 hours, diuretics, sauna, dangerous. So then he was like, man, I got to fill back up. So me and him shot over to McDonald's, and we got a couple Angus burgers, and we started loading up. McDonald's fries, apple pies, insulin, Carbolin, whatever. The crazy thing is, he blew all the way back up to 235. By the time he got on stage, looked amazing. And my weight did not budge. I actually lost another pound, which was crazy. Nothing was staying in me. I was just shitting my brains out. Bad reaction to the diuretics. So I would not ever let anyone do that. We used to do crazy shit, and I'm sure people still do crazy shit. Personally, I wouldn't. This was something I did, you know, because I didn't care back then. But as a coach, I wouldn't allow somebody to do that. Now, that being said, you don't know what, as a coach, you only assume that people are doing what you tell them to do. But that was pretty crazy. That was pretty crazy. Did you read Dave Panussel's book, Raising the Bar? No bio book, just tons of funny stories from competing. I remember the documentary, but didn't read the book. In case your son will start to identify himself as the box because of woke culture, would you beat the shit out of him with belt? No, I mean, he's getting beat, bullshit. Beating his ass. No way. I'll homeschool him first before he gets into that. Oasis, Stop Crying Your Heart Out, or U2, Stuck in a Moment. I'm going Oasis. I don't really like U2. I know people love U2, but I'm not a U2 guy. Bullshit Kush, who's from these nationalities you wouldn't like to have a fight? Mexican, Black, Russian, Samoan, or Indian? Are we going, or Italian? Okay, so Mexican typically can box, right? Black, right? Some of the best boxers of all time also. Russian, you gotta watch out for that grip strength, right? Those guys wrestle bears. Samoan, big, strong, freaky people. Italian, you're probably gonna get a cheap shot in there somewhere. You're probably gonna get a dirty cheap shot in there. So I wouldn't like to fight. I don't know if I could say that I really would care too much about the ethnic background if I had to fight. Whoever's gonna get it's gonna get it. Bolshoi Kush, Muse, Supermassive Black Hole, or Placebo, Every Me and Every You. I like Muse. We'll go Muse on that one. Yeah, so Zionic, as far as the 16 cap bottle, they actually have big bottles out there for people that want to party all the time. But we really never found out at what, it's kind of like an underground thing, you know what I mean? Like, you don't really go out hard. First of all, you're not allowed to, legally, you're not allowed to advertise something as anti-anxiety. You can use calming, you know, but you can't use anti-anxiety. The FDA will get all on you over that. Also, you don't really come out and say this is to get you high either in the space that we're in with all the issues that we have. But, I mean, it's literally just to get you high. It's cool. There's a lot of interesting, you know, ingredients out there these days like that will give you that kind of effect. But I think the most common starter dose is probably 4 capsules. Have I ever tried cocaine, heroin, or crack? Cocaine, yes. Heroin, no. Crack, no. In my youth, not in a long time, have I been anywhere near the cocaine. Not since the 90s. You think people start to pray more to God when they fuck up their back? Yes, absolutely. How old am I? I am pushing to the end of my 43rd year, and I'll hit 44 on February 6th. Janice Leo. Zionic, I would suggest taking a break for a while on the DMHA if it's not hitting you like that anymore. You're probably experiencing some adrenal fatigue shutdown, which is pretty common. And I'm not trying to push a product on you, but go grab some adrenal care from Blackstone. That was a genius product that the Gorilla Chemist designed. Kid was really, really smart, man. That was a great design. And just run it for 30 days. Help you reset your adrenals so these things start hitting you again. Would you like to? I would absolutely love to be on the Rogan Experience, Bolshoi Kush. Is that a trick question? Bolshoi Kush, Cinderella, don't know what you got till it's gone. Or Def Leppard. Oh, definitely Bring On a Heartbreak all day. Fuck, marry, kill. I love these. I love me some FMKs. Let's see. Charmed Alyssa Milano, Rose McGowan, or Shannon Doherty. I am going to marry Alyssa Milano. She seems like she'd be good wife material. Nice little Italian girl. Rose McGowan is definitely getting effed. And sorry, Shannon Doherty, I guess she's the one I'd have to kill. I would say, least attracted to her physically. APG to speak to Jason. His videos have made it to the United Kingdom. Funny as hell. So, listen, I'll always love Jason. I have to take him in small doses now because he tends to drive me crazy. I was asked by Jane not to do anything with him, period, anymore. I'm not allowed to do anything with him. So I haven't talked to him as much lately. He actually was messaging me the other day saying he was sad that I haven't asked him to hang out and he thought we were friends and all that. Hitting me with the drama. I do miss doing all those videos, man. Those were fun. All in good fun. Do I plan to use the Botox in the future? Actually, when I got out of prison, I got a little Botox. I was excited to do it. I did a video. It's on my YouTube. I did a little bit right out here because I smile a lot. You get those crow's feet wrinkles in here, and I just kind of, wanted to tighten up a little bit. We did it before the wedding. I know a lot of people do their forehead because they don't want to have those forehead wrinkles, but I don't really care about that. I care a lot about this eye region over here, though. So, also as guys get older, they do this right here because as you get older, you get those folds in there. Where am I at in Dexter? So last night, he saved the Trinity killer was trying to kill himself. Good old Jonathan Lithgow. He was going to step off the roof, and he saved him. So we'll see. We only watched one episode last night. Marissa was really tired. Shadow, you made a video dedicated to Big Lenny? Oh, I'd like to see that, man. Rest in peace to Big Lenny. Where am I from? Originally, Danbury, Connecticut. I live in Boca Raton, Florida, though. Yeah, the fillers are what's going to change your face more than the Botox, guys. You see all these women in Hollywood with the weird faces? That's really more of abusing the fillers. Serpicon or Dog Day Afternoon? Dog Day Afternoon, yep. Shannon Doherty died when I was in prison? I didn't even know that. Wow, and I chose her for kill. Terrible. Although I guess that's fitting. I'm out of the loop of pop culture. What did she die from? Cancer or something? No, Scatman. I wanna look young and fresh until I die. That's like saying don't take testosterone. Bolshoi Kush, how many years of age usually people give you when they meet me? Most of the time they think that I'm younger than I am. So that's a good thing. I rarely meet people that think that I'm over 40. I think most people usually assume that I'm in my mid-30s. In prison, people were like shocked that I was as old as I am, which is good. I'll take it. My mom has crazy genetics. My mom, people, when I'm with her, they usually think that I'm her husband. So if I can age like that, same thing with my grandma. My grandma, crazy genetics. She unfortunately passed away from pancreatic cancer, but I mean, she had such a young face. I guess it's the olive skin. I do gym videos and exploring, but would love to meet you guys in my lifetime. You ever come to Birmingham, UK? So actually, I spent a few days in Birmingham. I gotta tell you, Shadow Explorer, Birmingham I thought was a very boring place. Now, maybe I was in the wrong spot. I went to an event out there. I like London, but we split time between London and Birmingham. And when I was in Birmingham, I don't know if it's still like this, guys, but when I was there, right, I'm in a hotel room all by myself. Thank you, Journey. Yes, I'm Italian. I'm in a hotel room all by myself, and I'm bored. I'm alone. I go to log into Pornhub, and you're not allowed to watch Pornhub in the UK. I was like, what the hell is going on? So I reached out to one of my tech guys, and he was like, oh yeah, I don't think they allow porn there. So what I had to do was he hooked me up. We got a designated VPN so I could log in somehow down through Miami and get on that Pornhub. I was like, you're gonna leave me by myself in this boring ass place? But yeah, I was in it was a very like country area where there was a big show out there. Once I got that VPN though, I was able to go in there. Woo. But this is going back, guys. This is going back, over 10 years probably. You got to do what you got to do, man. Especially when you're a young guy loaded up on testosterone. Do I plan to invest in Bitcoin in the future? No. First of all, I don't even think I'm allowed to do anything like that while I'm on probation. Mass Peanut says, starting to use BCA resurgent. Is it the equivalent to 5 gram BCAs per scoop? I think a scoop is 10 grams, actually, unless they changed it while I was gone. Okay, Mass Peanut. Hey, listen, that's how it was when I was there. I was not happy about it. Scat Man. I'm the Scat Man. Or Eiffel 65 Blue. Blue in house with the blue little. Blue is a better song, but shout out to Scat Man for having a hit with such a wacky song. I don't think I know any Scatman other than the Scatman that's here right now in this chat. Shout out to him. Hank, what's going on? Good to see you. Yeah, skibidi-bidi-dop-doo. Scatman. That's a funny one. Brother PJ, just a little gift for my birthday. Venmo, 40 bucks. I need somebody to Venmo me. I'm working minimum wage over here. Thank you, Shadow Explorer. I appreciate the love. I would have taken it. Listen, so we found that Gorilla Chemist was really, really big on adrenal function. It was a very big thing for him. So he wanted to design something for people to get off stims completely, be okay, and reset themselves. And you can really ease the symptoms that way, bounce back very fast. However, I don't want to get all the way off stims. So when they brought it back, I just put it into my daily routine and cut my stims down a little bit, and they actually hit me way harder, and I feel great. Justin O'Donnell, new IFBB Pro, longtime friend of mine. Great to see you here. He also reps a company that I'm not allowed to be with, but I appreciate that. Got that pro card. Very exciting time. Scat is actually that style of singing. I know it, Scatman. I know it. I just couldn't believe that there was actually a major hit of scatting. No, I never use Euphoria, Hank. We're talking about adrenal care. You take the adrenal care 2 a.m., 2 p.m. I haven't used Euphoria in years. But if you guys are drinking coffee every day, if you're drinking energy drinks every day, if you're drinking pre-workouts every day, your body is going to not only build a tolerance, but you're going to start taxing your adrenal glands. Your adrenal glands control a lot of function in your body, guys. It'll affect your cortisol production, thyroid production. And I talk to people all the time that are like, oh, I do 2 scoops of my pre-workout. That's crazy. You should not have to do that. If I did 2 scoops of Dust X, I would explode. I would literally explode. Now, I've gone through it over the years of burning out my adrenals and feeling like things don't work. So, this is a product that simply works to do that. So you should always get that blast that you want to get from your stims. It is like yodeling almost. Yeah, I guess it is. Life with Louie or a Hey Arnold cartoon. Man, I'm going to be honest with you. I never watched either of them, Bullshit Kush. I never watched all of them. It's hard to get proper gear these days. A lot of people are making rip-off Chinese version steroids. So I personally believe that just from the shit that I hear, fake gear is at an all-time high. I truly believe that most guys that think that they're using Primobolan and Masteron, when I hear the doses that they say that they're using and I see what they look like, there's no way that it's real. There's just no way. Also, I have a friend who has a mass spectrometer that's very into bodybuilding. You know, sometimes you've got bodybuilders that are nerds and geeks, and, you know, those are the best guys to be friends with. He actually worked in a lab for quite a while, and he said literally all of the underground gear that he got from various people, including some that I know, the only stuff that was real was the testosterone, and the tren was almost always real because tren is always homemade anyway. All of the Primobolan was fake. All of the Masteron was fake. All of the Anavar was fake. He said a very large amount of the Deca was fake. Hank says, I took a half of a capsule of arson. It snows a ton where I live. I walked 2 miles in a blizzard with a t-shirt rather than, listen, I can't, arson's not for me, Hank. Arson is not for me. I remember when we first came out with arson, everybody was like, don't take it. Don't take it. I'm like, listen, I gotta make sure it's good. Yes, the formula is great. You know, Jared designs strong shit. But I want to be able to talk about it. So one day, I got up at like 5. I was tired as hell. I got really, really bad sleep. I had a lot of shit to do. I said, I'm going to take an arson. I took an arson. I made it all the way until like 11 o'clock, guys. I was getting shit done. And I remember I had to stop at the dry cleaners. I was sitting in the dry cleaner, and I started wigging out. And I had to go home because I was having a panic attack. Now, I will say that was back when I used to have a lot more issues with anxiety, so maybe I'd be able to handle it now. Ed and Eddie or Power Cup Girls? Power Cup Girls, definitely. Come on now. Remember when Gab Gizmo said she got... No, listen. This is what she said, Scatman. She said she almost failed a drug test over dust X. She almost failed. Which, either you fail or you don't fail. That's it. There is no almost. The same testing procedures that they used in the Olympics, that they use in all these events, UP, they tested. It's a positive or a negative on the stuff that's in there. So, why she said that is insane and crazy. Nobody has ever failed from a Dust X. In fact, I was so curious after that, just to see maybe this girl, let me just see for myself. Me and Sammy, we took Dust X, we bought a bunch of different kinds of urine tests, peed in all of them, passed all of them. He says I take it all the time. So, I mean, that's a crazy thing to say. That was a crazy thing. Legally, we were advised to not talk to that girl anymore after that. Justin says you have to pay quite a lot to be sure stuff is good. Yeah, that's what I imagine. Listen, I had a fantastic connection. When I retired from bodybuilding and I came down here, I have a friend who literally was Mr. Olympia, introduced me to somebody else, and that was my guy for years. But that guy literally moved out of the country. So when I got out of prison and I found out that he was gone, I was like, well, that's literally the only guy that I've trusted all this time. I guess I'm sticking to TRT testosterone, and that's okay because I'm not trying to compete or anything anymore. I do get the desire, of course, because I'm a meathead at heart, to dabble into the other fun things, but it ain't really worth it, I suppose. Ever tempted by Dave Palumbo's snakes? I love all Dave Palumbo's snakes. I had quite the collection of snakes for quite a while. You need a second job, I bet, Justin. I bet you. The cost of getting that pro card. Tanya Miller, good morning. She was so pretty. She went to Redcon Gym just to trash BSL while recording. She was so petty. That's funny. Yes, yes. Crazy girl, man. Crazy girl. There's a lot of them in the industry, though. Who you think Democrats will put as the candidate in 2028? Everyone is expecting Michelle Obama to participate. That's who I would have expected for sure. Bolshoi Kush. I don't know. They're gonna have to really. They're gonna have to really put it together. They got 4 years to figure it out. They should have. They should have ran Michelle Obama this year. I think they would have had a far better chance with Michelle Obama. People love the Obamas. Justin O'Donnell says, arson is my secret weapon the last 2 weeks of prep. I bet. That's how I used to do it with the ephedrine back in the day. Save it for the end. Boom. Lock in. Shadow Explorer says, that's the life we live in now. People just trying to make a quick buck. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? You know, I'll tell you, back in the early 2000s, of course, we had to worry about, you know, fake gear and things like that also. But I think that we really had solid sources for the most part. Now, you know, you had a lot of companies coming up from Mexico and stuff. Quality Vet was one of them. Then you had the British Dragon. British Pharma was another one. There was a company called IP, International Pharmaceuticals. Pretty common stuff back in my day going around. But we also back then, which I don't know if, I haven't seen too much the past few years, is you'd get amps. Europe, different European companies, Poland and whatnot, you'd be able to get ampules of all these different things. Mark Dog said, I tested my Prima with that Roy test and it was test probe. I'll never use anything other than pharma grade. That's the thing, man. Listen, most of the time, people are getting results. If they're using these underground labs, they're getting results so they think that it's real. Because if you have something that you think, let me break this down for you guys. Let's say you have something that you think is Masteron, right? And it's really test propionate, like what your Primobolan was. Test propionate is potent. Per 100 milligrams, when you look at the way the ester, the chemical weight of these testosterones are, versus CYP and A, versus an anthate, there's actually more straight up testosterone per 100 milligrams in the propionate. So you're getting a nice dose of testosterone. So you add that in, let's say you're running, 400 milligrams of testosterone, and you think you're running 600 milligrams of propionate, but you're really running 300 milligrams of Masteron, but you're really running 300 milligrams of propionate, man, that's going to give you a solid-ass boost. And so, oh yeah, it's working, it's good. Just completely different. I used to work as a dispatcher in the cops knew I love Blackstone and all this world, so they would ask me for recommendations. They all got hooked on arson. A lot of police officers over the years, yeah, loving the Blackstone supplements. Tons. I've met them all over the place. I love that, man. When we came out with the Back to Blue shirts during all the crazy riots and whatnot, we had a lot of cops reaching out. Which actor you think will be the next James Bond since Daniel Craig is quitting? Man, I don't know. Who do you think is going to be, Bolshoi Kush? Kind of tough shoes to fill there. Kate Beckinsale? No way. Still have a sealed bottle of arson. Love that stuff. I love how it comes in waves. Small spike of energy followed by the half of your neck standing up. And see, I don't like that. But I know people love that. That's why I like the DMAA more. Because the DMAA is a smooth, steady flow. Justin says I was 217 on stage. I'm already 245, and I have barely eaten anything. Crazy how much body sponged up. Some crazy depletion. Oh, I'm sure you were depleted as hell, looking as grainy as you did, sir. Looking grainy. I remember we had a conversation. I actually was talking about this with Billy and Chris Luke the other day. I said, I remember when Justin O'Donnell did his first show, and I was like, look, man, you train really hard. You got a lot of dense muscle. You're just not in good enough condition. You got to bring in, for your type of powerful physique, you got to bring in Branch Warren type of crazy hard-ass condition, and that's when you're going to be really good. And, you know, that's what you became known for the past couple years, and, you know, you did exactly what I predicted. There's a lot of suffering that goes into looking like that. People don't understand. They don't get it. Which physique from Street Fighter game you'd like to have? Probably, I think Guile had a hell of a physique. I don't smoke meth, I shoot it. Bro, Blackstone Company, you're the CEO. Thank you. Listen, I'm currently not CEO. I'm here. I'm on the outside, but not working, not getting a paycheck, not talking to anybody. Just minding my own business till I'm off probation. Lollapalooza or Woodstock? I never went to Woodstock, so I got to go with Lollapalooza. I loved Lollapalooza. Zionic, awesome product, man. You'll really like the adrenal care. You'll probably notice it after a week. You'll notice it after a week. Just do 2 in the AM, 2 at night. 2 AM, 2 at night with the adrenal care. I was really proud to see Blackstone brought that back after a freaking few years of not having it. Really proud to see that, man. That was one that I loved. What quality in dealing with other people you'd like to change in yourself? That's a good question. But I think that I've changed a few of the qualities already that kind of stem from patience with other people since being out of prison. Any offices from, they knew who you were. Yes, quite a bit, New World Muscle. More than I expected, and it's kind of funny because in prison, when people know who you are, you get judged 2 different ways, which I suppose is kind of similar to society. So some of the guys, man, when they were like, damn, man, the guards know who you are, a lot of the redneck guys, you're famous. If they know who you are, you're famous. I don't know about that. They just like working out. But then you had some of the other people, oh, Braun thinks he's a big shot. So, yeah, it can work both ways in there. Now, the guards are not allowed to communicate with any of us when we get out. So any of the guys that may have reached out to me since I've been home, not saying a word. Not saying a word. They wanted to take my... Just X and arson. That's hardcore. That's hardcore. Bolshoi Kush, they always want to do that in Hollywood, you know? Right? When do they not want to do that? Oh, thank you, Nia V. I appreciate that. Salam Kalei Vanda. What does that mean? Any experiences with psilocybin, Brother PJ? Yes. So, I did a lot of... Now, I'll take you guys back to high school. My high school years, I did a shit ton. I'll walk you through it. So in high school, I did a shit ton of LSD. I'm being completely honest. It was an honest show. I'm talking 100 times maybe. Man, there was a couple years where we were doing it like crazy in high school. That was like the thing to do. On the weekends. Then I had a very, very bad experience. Didn't touch it for a while. Then I had a good connection for shroomies for a little while. Had a bad experience on that, took way too much. And then during COVID, so after those negative high school experiences, I would never use LSD ever again. But shroomy is different. So during COVID, I had some discussions with Tony Huge about microdosing the shrooms, and he advised me, we went back and forth about it, to start conservatively, because people go way hard, right? Way hard. So he's like, start at 0.5 grams, tiny little bit, and work your way up. And so that's what I did. I experimented with some microdosing for a while, found a little sweet spot for me that worked great. Very euphoric, very happy and chatty. There was nothing to do. We were stuck at home. And it was a fun experiment. I'm almost done, by the way, here, guys. We're hitting that hour mark. Have you ever visited a psychiatrist? Yes, plenty of times. And no, I didn't feel myself as Tony Soprano, but I think psychiatrists can be very beneficial if you go in there the right way and with an open mind and don't try to manipulate the situation. Do I listen to Vended? Is Corey Taylor's son's band as well as Clown Son? Truthfully, I think they're better than current Slipknot. No, send me something if you get a chance. I'd like to check it out. How is Marissa doing the pregnancy? Thank you for asking. She's been doing amazing. Recently, she's been having some issues now with acid reflux and some constipation. I feel so bad for her. So we've kind of had to really kind of simplify her food. We were eating some Italian stuff on the weekends, like the tomato sauce really messing her up. But I convinced her to take some Fiberlize, and it worked so good that she went out and bought a jug of it. That's my redneck accent. I got a variety of those redneck accents because you got different kind of rednecks. Although I really like Peter Jensen and Rachel Fox a lot, Rachel Fox got that booty, but I like Peter Jensen more. I like her face more, and she has great boobs. Did you take HCG and Clomid and knock Marissa up? Yes, I did. What up, Kai Nguyen? How do you squash a beef with Marissa during pregnancy since women's hormones are through the roof? Since coming home from prison, I'm a lot more calm and peaceful than I was before I left, so I can tell if she's angry or not in a good mood, and I'm just very quiet. Allow her to vent and get it out, and I don't try to reason and argue with anything. Makes things a lot more smooth. But I'm also very lucky in the sense that, she had a little bit of that in the first trimester, but it's been pretty smooth sailing since then. Is HCG good to take with my TRT for fat loss? In my opinion, HCG should only be used for fertility. I don't understand the prescribing of it during the cycles. It is a strong drug. It changes the way that your hormones are all over the place. Now, if you are trying to conceive, then yes, it's typically a necessity there. But I only used HCG when I was very young, when I was coming off of cycles as part of my PCT. Didn't use it again for friggin' 10 years. Put it in when I needed to. And it only took about 5-6 months and boom, had the baby. Now I'm back to not taking it. Now it will give you some really big loads if you're interested in that. Do I think Singerman and Plumbo hold is? If anybody's gonna get on there, it'll probably be Singerman. Dom, I agree. I like the shroomies too. All right, guys, here we go. We're about to hit that 60 minutes. Fiber, John. It works, man. Clomid or enclomiphene for fertility, you can use either one. They're essentially interchangeable, but Clomid has harsher side effects. It'll make you more tired and whatnot. So if you have the option, go with the enclomiphene. But they're essentially interchangeable. My friend is a former H addict, and he used to abuse DMT to get high. After his 5th use of doing it, he blasted off to an alternate universe where he was stood before a council of otherworldly beings that told him he was abusing the ability to use DMT, and he would never use it again. So that was the end of that. Amazing. I believe it. I believe it. I've never stepped into that realm before. You know, Palumbo went years ago. He told us all about it. Palumbo went down to, I think, Brazil to literally like be with a shaman, drink the ayahuasca tea. And he said it was really enlightening and life-changing. I remember me and Aaron thought he was crazy. But there are quite a few people who have gone through that and done it. So there you go. All right, guys, did a whole hour today. Do Jersey Shore like Ronnie? Don't you know? Pump it up. That's it. I'm out of here, guys. I love you all. God bless you all. I appreciate the questions. And I will be on tomorrow. We're going to shoot a new video today with Chris Luke. I'm going to crush his legs today. We'll see if we can get Chris Luke jacked. Oh, thank you, Brendan Rogers. I appreciate that, B. Rogers. Good to see you on here. Appreciate you all. Love you guys. Peace out.